Western Conference Finals Game 6 this Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern on NBC, Thunder and Spurs. And I've got free plays analysis for side, total, player props, everything you need to win with Game 6 coming up free for you right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV. And if you're liking these free play videos, all I ask is a quick thumbs up like. If you're on your mobile device, click that hype button as well. And I'll keep giving you every NBA playoff game free this postseason here on Wager Talk TV. And don't forget, also some free baseball videos throughout the week. So make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell here on Wager Talk TV for instant alerts. All right, Game 5 played out like we thought it would. It was a great bounce back spot for the Thunder. Also told you I thought the Thunder team total would hit because Oklahoma City continues to score a lot of points when they win in this series this season. And many of you were nervous. Hey, how can we play the team total over when they only scored 82 points? They're without Williams. They're without Mitchell. Well, as we see in the NBA, injuries often don't matter. Backups step up and play big. McCain got his first playoff start at 20 points. And the Thunder got it done on their strong home court as expected. Also, by the way, had a strong 4% client best bet on OKC as well, as I did upgrade that to a client play as well. So now we return our attention back to San Antonio for Game 6. And still think the Spurs have been pretty evenly matched overall in the series this season. These teams have played 10 games now. San Antonio's won 6 of those 10 straight up. Now, keep in mind, the 5th regular season meeting, the Thunder did not play their starters. So their Spurs are technically 5-4 with all the big boys on the court. But they were 4-1 of those 5 regular season meetings. And yes, the Thunder probably have been the slightly better team so far this postseason because San Antonio's only won 1 game in regulation time in this out of the 5 playoff games so far. But with that said, there's some things from Game 5, even though it was a great bounce back spot for the Thunder, that make you a little worried if you're an OKC backer. First of all, let's talk about the injury report. Looks like A.J. Mitchell is not going to play again in Game 6. Jalen Williams not expected to return either. So they will continue to be shorthanded. And yes, they really struggled mightily in Game 4 without them at San Antonio. They made the adjustments as teams often do, and as I thought they would, and they played better offensively in Game 5 the other night. Went from 82 points to 127 points. But we dig deeper into the box score here, and there's a couple things that might concern you. First of all, San Antonio had a 26-9 fast break edge, points in the fast break edge. OKC is not scoring in transition. And here's the other thing that jumps out to you. Despite losing by 13, the Spurs were plus 8 from points in the paint, 46-38. So the Spurs had the points paint edge. They had a 17-point edge fast break points, yet they lost by 13. Why? Well, as often the case, it was free throws and three-pointers. OKC was plus 6 from three-pointers. They were plus 5 from the free throw line. So San Antonio was only minus 2 from two-point range. Also, the Thunder got the calls at home. 38 free throw attempts. SGA, I think, had like 17 on his own. And there again, I don't want to say it was scripted, but we do know that the NBA refs get marching orders, and after a bad offensive showing, it was not a surprise that OKC got to the free throw line. SGA was 16 for 17 from the charity stripe. Half his points, half of his 32 points were free throws. Now, of course, he does a great job of doing that, but I don't expect OKC will get as many calls, first of all, in the road here in Game 6, and also the fact that it's an elimination game for the Spurs. You know the NBA would love to have a Game 7 on Saturday night. Also, as far as the side in this game, I like San Antonio. You can see where I'm going with this. I do think the shorthanded OKC lineup is going to still have some trouble, and San Antonio will probably now make those zigzag adjustments. Also look for McCain to regress a bit on the road here. He had that great, 24 points in game number 3 off the bench. And then he was 1 for 10 in game number 4. Then he came back and went 7 for 19, 20 points as a starter. He once again took as many shots as SGA. In the last 2 games he's taken, or the last 3 games, he's taken more shots, I think, than SGA. That's not a recipe for success. McCain still was only 7 for 19. He took a lot of bad shots. To me, watching him on the court, he looks a little out of control, like he's forcing things at times. So I look for a big regression there. Also think the officiating will probably favor the Spurs here in Game 6. And San Antonio will have a strong home court edge. I like San Antonio minus the 3.5. If you're going to play it, I would lay it with the Spurs here in game number 6. As far as the total, it's tricky. Once again, there were a lot of free throws in game number 5. The 2 teams combined for 70 free throw attempts. So it was not that misleading that it was a high-scoring game with 241 points. And San Antonio only shot 40% from the field. But I think Oklahoma City is going to regress offensively. They're not going to shoot 48% again on the road, 44% from 3, especially without 2 of their best offensive players, Mitchell and Williams, unlikely to play. And as I said earlier, they probably won't get the calls from the officials here in Game 6 like they did at home in Game 5. I pointed out in game one of this series that game ones often between Class A teams are low scoring, and it took double overtime to get it over the total. It was 2:02 at the end of regulation. It was still under at 2:16 after the first overtime, and then got up and over, obviously, with the second overtime. I then told you in games 2 and 3 and even 4 that a lot of times the middle games in series are higher scoring. Games 2 through 5 are usually higher scoring than 1 or 6 and 7, when teams sometimes aren't quite as focused because it's not the first game and they're not facing necessarily elimination yet. And that's what we've seen. Overall, the over is now 4-1 in this series. Really 3-2, but game 1 went over because of double overtime. But anyway, 3 of the last 4 have still gone over since. And with that high-scoring 241-point game, they've now bumped this total a full basket higher to 219. Even some 219.5 started to show. And one thing I've pointed out in other videos this postseason, that games 6 and 7's elimination games, by definition, all 6 and 7 games have to be elimination games. Somebody is trailing 3-2 or 3-3. Usually have more defensive intensity, and it makes a lot of sense. First of all, it's do or die. Someone's season's on the line, the other team can close it out, so both teams bring their A game defensively. Also, the officials sometimes let them play a little bit more. So that's another reason I don't think we're going to see 70 combined free throw attempts in Game 6 like we did the other night in Game 5. So I would lean under 219.5 as well for that reason. So if I'm looking Spurs, and if I'm looking under 219.5, well, you know where I'm going with that. OKC team total under the 108.5 makes a lot of sense to me. And as I told you, I like the OKC team total over for Game 5. And a lot of you were in the comments, I don't know, 82 points. They got to 127. Now we're going to zigzag on that one. Look for them to come back down to earth and stay under the 108.5. And as I pointed out, I liked OKC in Game 5. When they've won in this series this season, they've scored 119, 122, 123, and 127. They've scored at least 119 or more in their 4 wins. You look at the other games that they've lost in this series, those 6 losses, 109, 110, 102, 106 in the regular season, 102 in regulation in Game 1, and then just 82 the other night. So once again, 82 and 102 in the 2 losses in this playoff series, and then 106, 102, 110, 109 in the regular season, which are higher scoring games by nature. I like OKC team total under 108.5. If the Spurs win this game and force a Game 7, I think they're going to have to win it with defense and keep OKC under. And once again, OKC is still missing 2 of their best offensive players. All right, let's look at some player props here. If I'm looking at an OKC team total under, then obviously I'm looking for some Thunder players to go under. Never going to fade SGA, especially with others out. He's going to have to do the heavy lifting. Yes, he's always priced in the high 20, low 30 range. He got to 32 because of the free throws. He's at about 31.5. Actually, I see anywhere from 29.5 to 31.5, so shop around. He has had 30 or less in every other game in this series, and he had 32 the other night in Game 5. I hate fading a superstar, but I do think he's priced pretty hefty. If you get a 31.5, I would lean SGA under, as he's been under that 32 or less in every game so far, and he won't probably get quite as many beneficial calls. Another guy, as I hinted earlier, is McCain. He's been zigzag so far the last 3 games. He had the 24 points, and then he had only 4 points, and then he had 20 points. He's been 14.5 the last couple games when there's been announced that the Mitchell and Williams are out. Right now I'm seeing him around 13.5, 12.5 to 13.5. I would wait to make sure those guys are definitely out near tip-off, but then you might get a higher total on McCain. The problem with McCain is he takes a lot of shots, and that's always a concern playing the under. But he takes some bad shots, and I can't imagine they're going to let him go off. And once again, 24, and then just 4, and then 20. So I would lean McCain under as well. And then 2 others that probably regressed. Chet Holmgren finally got there. He got 16. And I told you we were neutral on Holmgren in game number 5 because I thought the Thunder team total over was in effect when they have 127 points, and Holmgren still only had 16. He had 10, 14, and 13 in the other games. He's priced around 14, 13.5, 14. I would lean under there. And another guy that had a big game, Hartenstein, 15 rebounds, 12 points. By the way, Holmgren had 11 rebounds. Hartenstein had 15, so they did rebound well. Hartenstein also had 12 points, 6 for 8 shooting. Holmgren, by the way, was 6 for 9. Can't shoot much better, and he still only got to 16. The problem with playing like Hartenstein under, who also has a tendency to zigzag, he's had 2, 5, 10, and 12 in the other 4 games after getting 12. He's only at 7.5, though. Problem playing Holmgren under or Hartenstein under now is that with Williams and Mitchell both likely out, they do have to do a little bit more scoring. So I would lean Thunder starters under, however you want to mix and match it. But once again, you want to make sure you get some clarity on the Williams and Mitchell injuries. As of now, it does not look like either one is playing in Game 6. As far as the Spurs, I would probably look for some guys to bounce back after bad Game 5s. And one guy I would say is Wembanyama. He had 20 points, and he only made 4 field goals and no threes. Once again, 20 points, and he was only 4 for 15 shooting. Vassell was also just 2 for 11, 6 points, 2 for 9 from 3. So I look for Vassell to bounce back. I look for Wembanyama to bounce back up and over for both of their point totals. Wemby, by the way, was 12 for 12 from the free throw line. That's the only reason he got anywhere close to 20 points. He's priced at 27.5, and he's also been doing a lot of zigzagging. He had 41 in Game 1 and then just 21 in Game 2 and only 26 in Game 3. And then in the win, Game 4, he had 33 and then just 20. So in the 2 games they've won this year, 44 and 33 in the playoff games, and that's not a fluke. He's their best player. He's their key player. So if you like the Spurs as I do, you got to look at a Wemby up and over 27.5 total points. Or you could play his point rebounds over 40.5. However you want to attack it. If you like the Spurs, I think that definitely correlates to Wembanyama offensive props up and over. Vassell also over after just 6 points. He's probably worth a look here in a bounce back spot after shooting just 2 for 11. He got the shot attempts, just didn't hit them. He'd had 13 or more in each of the other 4 games in this series, including 20 and 22 in a couple of them, and he's priced around 14 for his over-under. So Devin Vassell, I think, over 14, and obviously Wembanyama up and over as well for the Spurs. The guard spot's a little trickier because Fox is obviously back. Harper is playing. I don't think either is 100% healthy, but they are playing extended minutes. Castle got less shot attempts. He only had 11, but he still got to 24 points in the game, and he only got to the free throw line 8 times, made 7 of the 8. Fox, though, has just not been doing much. I still don't think he's fully healthy, and neither did Harper. Harper was 1 for 5. Fox was 4 for 15. So normally we'd look for bounce backs when they only had 5 and 9 points, but they're still battling injuries, so I'd be a little careful with them. I think Vassell and Wembanyama up and over their points is the best way to attack the player props on the San Antonio side. Hey, there you go. Deep dive into Game 6 for Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. And, of course, if there is a Game 7, I'll be back with that video Saturday here on the channel. Otherwise, the NBA Finals start next week. And, by the way, they have look-ahead lines against the Knicks. The Knicks will be the road team regardless. Thunder minus 6.5 in Game 1. San Antonio minus 4.5 in Game 1. And Reggie Miller, look, I like Reggie, but he said, I've seen the Knicks play. He said this last night in Game 5, 2 nights ago on Tuesday. He goes, I don't care what you say. The Knicks will be favored in the finals. Well, he might be picking them as a favorite, but they are not going to be the favorite. They will be the money line series price underdog, and they'll be either a 4.5 or 6.5 point dog in Game 1, Reggie. What are your thoughts on that? Hey, drop them in the comments below. Also include your thoughts on Game 6. Sides, total, player props. What are you looking at? How are you attacking this game on Thursday night? Hey, include some analysis if you have time. So we, of course, can all learn and earn and win together here on Wager Talk TV. And once again, if you're liking these videos, I've given you every playoff game free this postseason, and I will continue to do it. I'll give you all the NBA Finals as well. All I ask is a quick thumbs up like. And if you're on your mobile device, click the thumbs up like and the hype button. You get a second chance to hype it up on your mobile device. Comment below. I read the comments. I reply back. And also click subscribe and click the bell for instant alerts. We're so close to 250,000 subscribers. 250,000 people can't possibly be wrong. Make sure you're one of them. Click subscribe and click that bell as well. You'll get an instant alert when all the NBA playoff videos are up each day, and also some daily free baseball videos throughout the week here on Wager Talk TV. Now, when I'm giving you a ton of information in every video, sides, total, player prop opinions, a lot of these are light TV leans only. I want to give you a deep dive. I know many of you are doing your own handicapping. You want as much analysis as you can get. But keep in mind, if you're playing all of these, 1% of bankroll is probably appropriate because a lot of these are light TV leans only. However, sometimes they do make my best bet card. If you want my official best bets, the strong plays I'm personally using, the games that go to my direct clients at wagertalk.com, those are 4% best bets. You can get them right now each and every day on my page, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com, and you can get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. And while you're there, don't only check out the best bets, but check out the bonus free play. That's right, a bonus free play every day, which is truly the last cut, just a bit outside from being a best bet. I don't want to waste it. I put it up as a free play. That one you might want to treat as a 2% opinion because it is truly close to being a best bet each and every day. It's usually in baseball this time of the year. And, of course, during the football and basketball regular seasons, we have a ton of free football and basketball plays as well. So go get that daily free play for Thursday up there right now. And also check out the best bets I have tonight, not only for the NBA Game 6, but also for Major League Baseball each and every day. You can get there quicker once again. My page, SteveMerril, wt.talk.com, including the daily free play by using shortcut wt.buzz/SM. While you're there, don't forget to check out the specials for May. We only have, 4 days remaining for these May specials, and there's some good ones. All Sports, All Access, 3 days for just $49. 3-day sampler for just $49. You know, 1 day is $39. You get 3 days for just $49 with that special 3-day sampler. And by the way, they are stackable, which means you can buy 2, 3, 4 of them and use them over and over again into June. If you want to stack them, that's a great option with the 3-day sampler for $49. Or if you want to take a more serious, consistent investment approach and save even more daily, then the 1 month is always a great option. And normally a 30-day is $299, but this month is a $100 discount, so it's just $199. But to make it even better in the month of May, we're giving you 10 more days for free. So it's 40 days for $199. Normally 30 days is $299. Nope, you're getting 40 days for $199. I know it makes no sense. I honestly think they made a mistake, but there's only 4 days left in May, so it's too late to tell them. No, seriously, if you want a 30-day all access, you're getting 40 days and $100 off, but you only got 4 days left to take advantage here in May. Or, of course, the 1-year all access is the lowest price of the season right now, and that's about to expire also. 365-day all access, all sports each and every day for about $1 a play because you're getting an instant $811 discount. No promo code needed. Why that exact number? Because it gets it down to exactly $99 a month, $3 a day, and that's about $1 a play. Now think about it. You're going to get the NBA Finals, all of next year's NBA regular season through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, all of next year's complete college and basketball season start to finish, plus all of next year's complete college and pro football seasons, which start in a few months, and then also the rest of this year's baseball. You got 4 months to go here, including 2 more months next year. This is a great time to lock in on a 1-year all access and build that bankroll a few months before football begins, and then you'll be ready to attack it even stronger. And best of all, with that instant $811 discount, which expires here in a few days, you get it for about $1 a play. Look, it doesn't matter if you get a 3-day, the 1 month, the 1 year, or even 1 day. Everybody gets the same plays. They're my personal best bets, and it's always been that way since I started 30 years ago. August of 1996, I became a full-time sports bettor and handicapper, and it's always been the same. If I'm using a play, every client gets it. My personal best bets. And yes, this summer is my 30th anniversary. Pearls, the traditional gift, Merril the pearl, or diamonds, the modern gift, both are appropriate. No matter how you cut it, you don't want to miss out on those special offers for the month of May, which are about to expire. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com, and get there quicker. And don't forget about the daily free play every day by using shortcut wt.buzz/SM. Like, hype it up, comment below, click subscribe, click the bell, and follow me on social media as well, at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, MERRIL, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you also know there's more free play videos coming up next.